United States, Los Angeles Tzu Chi volunteers carry out the aid distribution through the drive-thru method. Tzu Chi Malacca chapter continues to provide scholarships to southern regions of Malaysia during the pandemic. Selamat datang ke Die Headlines, saya Simon Gan. Terima kasih menyertai sesi berita kita. Welcome to Die Headlines. Thank you for joining us. In the United States, Los Angeles Tzu Chi volunteers regularly organize fruit and vegetable distributions for the disadvantaged families every month. Due to the pandemic, the distribution was carried out using the drive-thru method. Because of the need for more space, volunteers cooperated with Gate Middle School for the very first time. The school provided the venue to make the distribution smoother.
Early in the morning, there were long queues in the parking lot of Gage Middle School. After learning that Tzu Chi held distribution, some residents came to line up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
And I got a line at 4:15, and I got 3 boxes of food. I got raisins, I got vegetables, mashed potato.
Our city residents are going through a very hard time with families losing jobs, and obviously the kids are not going to school right now, so they're mostly at home, and the need of food and is very high here in the city, but we're thankful that we have this partnership with Tzu Chi.
Because the epidemic must keep social distancing, the distribution event was operated in a drive-thru mode. This is the first time Tzu Chi has cooperated with the Gage Middle School.
Tzu Chi organization who has provided for us a food bank for our community. With the COVID, with people being out of jobs right now, this has become very important. So our goal is to continue to develop a partnership with Tzu Chi.
It's a blessing, and I personally experience, I love to help. I'm here to serve.
So no meat at all for 60 days?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Volunteers discovered that some people began to change their eating habits after receiving food from Tzu Chi.
Vegetarian, I know it's hard for me because all my life I've been eating meat, but it got me, my health was bad. So now I'm changing to veggies, and I feel way better.
上人说非素不可。
Master said that it must be vegetarian. It must be recommended and must be done. We also have to do it. So even if we're chasing the car, we must promote vegetarianism.
是一样的，一定要劝素。
They advocated eating vegetarian diet, and the residents enthusiastically signed it. For the sake of the health and the earth, they are willing to start with a meal change.
Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter received over 4,000 applications for the Neighborhood Relief Program. So the volunteers went to applicants' homes to visit them and to evaluate their conditions. Here's more.
When we go to her home, why can't I see her husband's name?
Here's the first step of the Neighborhood Relief Program. The team leaders remind volunteers to be respectful and grateful to the applicants.
To protect the dignity of the applicants, we don't use the language that they don't understand.
我们现在去游街湾。你是去做什么？我们去做一个厨房。
This couple came from a suburb, and their lives has been affected by COVID-19. Now their incomes are reduced by half. They can only live on their meager incomes.
Normally, we can make about 20 ringgits a day, but we can't afford a sofa, and we still haven't paid back the loan for the TV.
Charity is the root of Tzu Chi. As the volunteers understand the conditions of the applicants, they also tell them how Tzu Chi gets started.
The founder of Tzu Chi invited everyone to save part of their grocery money and drop around 50 Taiwanese cents into a coin bank every day. Then they could use the money saved to help people.
We'll put the result on the internet on August 22nd, and you can type in this number and find out if your application is approved.
After the visit was over, the volunteers returned to the office to discuss the applications and to make sure people who need the assistance will receive it.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor continue to hold vegetarian food charity sales at various locations, and the money raised is used to fund Tzu Chi's Neighborhood Relief Program. Let's join them there.
Knowing that the Neighborhood Relief Program requires funding, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kuala Lumpur and Selangor are holding vegetarian food sales to invite the communities to help out. Making stuffed tofu takes time, but volunteers are happy to do the work.
We're happy because we haven't had any activity for months because of the mobility restriction order, and we're together at last because of this event.
As the mobility restriction order has become loosened, the volunteers take this rare chance to help. 22-year-old Mat Sai Wang was at first scared of being with people, but he still came to help.
Before I started volunteering, I was quite depressed, so when I learned about today's event, I came to get used to being a volunteer.
Tzu Chi volunteers want to use the neighborhood relief program to create harmony and mutual help in society.
When I was young, I was also poor and also hoped somebody could help us. However, Tzu Chi wasn't there. I understand how these people feel and I want to help them.
Tang Yong Hao studies at the Kuala Lumpur Tzu Chi International School. Volunteers discovered that he had talent in cooking, so they invited him to join them.
When I donate money alone, I pass forward one thought of love, but if everyone can put their thoughts together, it will become great love. When we pass this great love forwards, we can help many families.
The stand prepared only 88 sets of wonton noodles, but as more people demanded them, the volunteers sold out 110 sets of them.
Very good idea, and it's good that the community can come together and give back to others who are in need.
With more people involved, the volunteers are able to come up with many ideas to encourage more people to do good deeds.
The COVID-19 epidemic has occurred more than half a year. To thank the frontline medical personnel for sticking to their posts and protecting the people's health, Tzu Chi volunteers from Batam, Indonesia, specially make snacks which are delivered to the Galang COVID-19 hospital every Saturday morning to cheer them up.
Volunteers are working together to pack freshly baked buns, pastries, and bread into boxes.
Awalnya adalah tekad dari Mina Secaya. Setelah dia ikut kita ke atas, dia merasa.
At the beginning, one of Tzu Chi's sisters suggested going to the temporary hospital for COVID-19 patients in Galang Island to provide care. Upon arrival, we found that the healthcare workers and patients only had 3 meals a day without healthy supplements or snacks. So we decided to prepare some snacks for them so that they can feel like we belong to one family.
Part of the snacks are handmade by volunteers in hope to deliver this care to the people working at front line.
Menurut saya itu sangat bagus sekali karena saya sendiri merasakan karena selama.
I think this activity is very good because I seldom joined Tzu Chi activities during the past few months. This gave me a good chance to make snacks at home. It's really good because we can mobilize other volunteers to join together and everyone is happy volunteering.
Because the temporary hospital in Galang Island is in short of supplies, apart from the heartwarming snacks, volunteers also send washing machines and office supplies there, taking care of the daily lives of 217 healthcare personnel and volunteers.
Barang yang telah diberikan, makanan dan alat-alat kantor juga.
The food and office supplies provided by Tzu Chi are very helpful to us. Thank you very much. This is not the first time for us to receive your help. It's already been several times.
Tzu Chi volunteers go there to provide care every Saturday, hoping to be the strongest support for healthcare workers during the pandemic.
Scissors, spatula, or even computer mouse are items generally designed for right-handed users, which might be difficult for left-handers. There are also sayings that left-handed people are smarter and succumb to mental illness easier. Are they all true? Follow a report as we learn more.
右手开这个方向开是顺，但是如果用左手，可能就容易去卡到东西。
Left-handers have more troubles in life than you think, which indirectly trains them to become super adaptable.
As a minority, left-handers have many troubles in life, daily activities that many cannot adapt to. We can adapt at any time.
诶，右转错边，很 K， 捡不起呀。
这样方向也不一样，会跟人不一样。
These things that you think are easy for left-handed people, it's actually quite difficult. For example, where should I put my left arm on the school desk? A spatula that left-handers can't use, is it an excuse for not cooking? What are the inconveniences they experience? We visit the home of Mr. Kang, a left-handed man, and he enthusiastically cuts apples to show us. He uses a knife in his left hand, but he has a sleek skill that only can be achieved after a lot of hard work. With a left-handed husband, Mrs. Kang keeps a good distance away.
When he waits to give me a cup, I'll definitely bump his hand. I'll bump into him because it does not go smoothly. Did you see? It still feels a bit crowded if we sit like this. So when we use chopsticks, we'll definitely hit each other.
Ms. Chai left-hander in the workplace as she works as a hairstylist. As soon as she picks up the scissors, she exudes confidence. Using the left hand to quickly cut the layers and remove hair is actually quite troublesome.
Everyone says I have more artistic talent, and it's easier for me to judge and figure out what will happen when I cut the hair.
It takes less than 10 minutes to complete a handsome haircut, which makes some customers very satisfied.
It's very special. It's the first time I've had a left-handed hairstylist. Usually, I go to a right-hand hairstylist.
Left-handed people in the hairdressing industry have many techniques that take more time to practice, like using paper for curling hair.
I really couldn't do it. I saw everyone do. I couldn't grasp this paper with my hand. I'll take this piece of paper as well and put it in my hand and switch and then roll it together. That's why I need to take many more steps.
It's hard to get the skill level to be a professional hairdresser, but there is yet another problem.
Some shops don't sell left-handed scissors, so I had to search for them.
Finally, she found the special thinning scissors for her left hand. She also found several companies, but each of these special scissors costs an average of $30 to $60. This means that in addition to left-handers having to work harder than ordinary people, they also have to spend more money.
Many devices are invented for right-handed people. For a left-handed person to survive, he has to use his right hand. So that's why clinically it seems that left-handed people are more dexterous.
There are many myths about left-handed people, such as being smarter, having a shorter life expectancy, having sleep disorders, being prone to mental illness.
At psychiatric clinic, when counting schizophrenic patients, some 40% of patients told the researchers that they wrote with their left hand.
It only appears in statistics. In fact, there's no significant differences that deaf-handed people come into contact with this disease.
Because many people don't understand what it's like to be left-handed, there's always a veil associated with those that are left-handed. But now some support has emerged on the internet and elsewhere, as many are sharing their opinions and also providing assistive devices specially designed for left-handed people. In the future, those who are left-handed will be just as accepted and equal as right-handed people.
Believing and practicing compassion through caring for society, Tzu Chi Malacca chapter had provided scholarships to southern regions of Malaysia since 1997. Although the pandemic greatly impacted several events, but the blessings and goodwill from volunteers continued.
Driving along mud roads, Tzu Chi volunteers go door by door to visit 965 Tzu Chi scholarship recipients. Since 1997, Tzu Chi provided scholarships to disadvantaged students in the southern regions of Malaysia. Due to the pandemic this year, the aid had become more of a lifeline, and long-term care recipients have reached over 47,000 people.
The scholarship is for buying school supplies. Next year, we have to buy new uniforms. It helps our household. But now uniforms and textbooks are getting expensive.
I'm very glad and touched because you will help us.
Due to the pandemic, the scholarship awards ceremony cannot commence as scheduled, but the blessings of the volunteers continued.
Like today, we came here to make them feel safe, letting them know that although we don't have the ceremony, the scholarship funds will still be transferred to their account.
Believing that education may change their future lives, and after receiving the scholarship, recipients are eager to learn more.
A lot of successful people came from poor families, but after they received education, their lives improved.
I'll try my best to reach my goals, like reaching a high-grade benchmark, so I will receive a reward to lessen my father's economic burden.
Education is key to a better life. Tzu Chi volunteers' visit had brought a warm feeling to families, and here's hoping that these scholarship recipients may safely study.
Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology made its way to Huxi Elementary School in Penghu, holding a camp promoting humanitarian ideals and eco-friendliness. Through understanding the ecosystems and food resources, students have a better understanding of their relationship with the environment. Volunteers also cooperated with local doctors to host a free eye clinic for the community elders.
蚂蚁窝是怎样？哦，哇，好棒哦！好，蜂窝呢？哦，答对了。
Through practices and images, students now understand a variety of insects in nature, thinking of more ways to improve the earth.
答案在这里。
Pondering on the topic of saving every bit of food resources, the humanitarian eco-friendly camp initiated by TCUST made children think and realize how they could bring change to their surroundings.
I've learned to eat more vegetables and reduce consumption of meat because vegetables have more nutrition and vitamins.
Eating to 80% full, the rest we save in order to help others.
Volunteers walked into the Huxi community to cooperate with local eye doctors. This is to help community elders since they mostly have cataracts or dry eye. Nurses give eye care reminders to elders.
We cannot visit this place on a regular basis or to be with them all the time. When the medicine and tools run out, they could use some other ways to help with their dry eye situation.
In Huxi Township, those 65-year-old or above account for over 15% of Penghu's elder population. Volunteers came in to energize and care for elders, cooperating with local Tzu Chi people to bless and protect the health of elders.
In Taichung, Taiwan, students from Maria Social Welfare Foundation have come to Taichung Jingsi Hall to learn to sort recyclables. Although the students are physically or mentally challenged, with the volunteers' patient explanation, they are able to do a good job protecting the environment.
How does one sort and recycle this tall pile of PET bottles? Xiaoying, whose left hand has atrophied, has to wear an assistive device. How can she turn the PET bottle caps?
I hold the PET bottles in my heel. I can do it like this. I asked her how does she manage to do it with her injured hand. She said, do it like this. She's quite smart.
On the other side, volunteers demonstrate ways to flatten PET bottles. This group of volunteers are students from Maria Vocational Training Center. They have come to Taichung Jingsi Hall in the morning to learn to recycle, hoping to reciprocate the community.
This is a chance for them to learn serve others. They will know that they have the ability to help the less fortunate people. Although they are physically and mentally challenged, they still have the ability to do recycling. As long as we tell them how to do it, they will be full of compassion. Protect the earth and love the environment. It's cleaner this way.
Once they come here, they know what to do. There's no need to teach them. It's wonderful.
Volunteers mindfully teach these students ways to sort recyclables. The students had a precious lesson on environmental protection outside their classrooms.
In Luzhou of New Taipei City, Tzu Chi's recycling mission was initiated by Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Jinghai in 1992. He used to drive his car and pick up recyclables along the roads. Then, he and other Tzu Chi volunteers shared the cost to buy a recycling truck. They started to promote recycling in the communities and set up different recycling points. After 28 years, many recycling volunteers have been certified as Tzu Chi volunteers. They also combine recycling mission with charity mission. In addition, TIMA members come to the recycling station regularly to care for the volunteers' health.
We hope people who will work will also join us to do recycling. We do nighttime recycling from 7 till 8 on Thursdays.
16 vehicles travel between 20 recycling points in Luzhou, and 8 of them are volunteers' private cars.
We will make contacts ahead of time. We will ask if this driver can come on Wednesday. We need to contact them. If they cannot come, we will have backup cars.
I work at a moving company. I've done recycling for more than 10 years. I come every Thursday.
I used to carry water.
I'm afraid of rain. If it rains, all the recyclables at the recycling points will be transported back to the main station. There will be a lot of things. Look, they are messy. After they are sorted, the place will be clean. After sorting recyclables, the place won't be messy.
There's a high percentage of recycling volunteers becoming Tzu Chi volunteers. The most important thing is he can endure hard labor, is not afraid of filth and fatigue. He can walk the bodhisattva path for the long term.
OK。
我阿爸哪有管哦？无管哦，干嘛呢？哦，谢谢哈，孙呀。
等下咱要来理这个手表。好，因为咱这上年关心咧环保站的。
Why do we measure volunteers' blood pressure? Because the master cares about recycling volunteers' health. So, every morning, when volunteers come, we will measure his blood pressure. Then we will upload the numbers to the Department of Religious Affairs platform, so TIMA members can take a look at the statistics. Every month, TIMA members will come to the recycling station to care for volunteers.
拢会来咱环保站遐，甲迄个所有菩萨吼，拢家做一个关怀。
那环保它定点还有一个好处，就是说
There are benefits of having fixed location for recycling. If there are families facing hardship in the community, they can report the cases to Tzu Chi at the recycling points. We can combine recycling with charity mission. We form good affinities with the community. It doesn't last for just 1 or 2 days, but for decades.
10年来它从不间断。
From 1992 to 1996, the recycling mission in Luzhou has evolved from one volunteer's work to joint efforts of many districts. As Tzu Chi has been carrying out recycling mission for 30 years, it has inspired countless people to cherish the earth.
30 principals from all over Taiwan gathered in the Jingsi Hall in Hualien County to better understand the humanistic education of Tzu Chi. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you and goodbye.